Namaste. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your yoga class. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me today. I appreciate it. Finding a nice tall spine and a comfortable seat. Just relaxing your hands in your lap for a moment. Finding the length along the spine. Notice your sit bones. Imagine a triangle from your sit bones to your pubic bone and let that area be soft and stable, out of which your spine lifts and rises, relaxing your shoulders down toward your hips, releasing your jaw, letting your eyes take a soft gaze or close completely, and without changing it, beginning to notice the breath. The essence of life, breathing in and breathing out. Letting the breath move a little bit further down into the belly. As you inhale, let the belly go, let the belly pooch out. And as you exhale, use your abdominal muscles and just draw your belly back to the spine. Just a few abdominal breaths. Don't let the breath rise up in the chest. Keep it in the belly, in and out, controlling it. Pranayama. And on your next exhale, draw your belly button back into your spine, and then take a breath into your mid-chest, into your ribs. Breathe into that area, feel the ribs expand out to the side, and then a slow, gentle exhalation. A chest breath, but keeping it low in the chest. As you're ready, inhaling and exhaling, belly stays firm. Notice the ribs spread side to side, front to back. Exhaling. One more. And exhaling. Combining these two actions for a few yogic breaths. Exhaling the breath all the way out, belly to spine. Release your belly, breath comes in. Drawing that same inhale up into the chest. Inhale and draw it up, not too far, keep it in the middle. Top, pause, and a slow, smooth exhale. Exhaling smoothly, slowly, gently. Belly to spine at the end of the exhale. Then release the belly, breath comes in. Draw that same inhale up into the chest. Spread the ribs side to side, front to back. Pause at the top, exhale slowly, gently, smoothly. One more on your own. And as you complete that breath, bringing your hands into the heart, falling into your natural breath. Keeping it soft and shallow, just enough to sustain you. And reflect on body, any aches, any pains, mind, what thoughts are in your mind this morning, and soul for just a moment. Where is your alma, your soul this morning? If the body is firm and stuck in its stance, if the mind is stubborn and stuck in its stance, we can enter through the soul, our complicated being. On your next exhale, letting your head bow slightly. With gratitude, we salute all the great yoga masters, past, present, a special joy for Babaji. We recognize the excellent wisdom teachings that yoga has provided, and we dedicate ourselves to a practice that helps us to transform ourselves. Swastha. What do you need for your practice today? Find your intention, your sankalpa, and repeat this firm intention over to yourself 3 times. And then I'll be chanting one Om. I'd love for you to join in with me if you can, exhaling the breath out and a nice inhale to chant. And then letting your eyes flutter open on an inhale. Just squeeze your hands together, reach them out for a moment, just reaching out the arms. And then take the eye of the elbow toward the ceiling and the elbow joint down toward the floor as much as you can. Good. And then bend the elbows, bring them together, and then take them back. The elbows may separate as you take them down, rightfully, and bring them up, elbows to touch, and down, may separate, but keep them firm. And up and down. One more little bit with our triceps for a moment. So bring your arms into a nice V shape. Take your thumbs to your scapula. Just put your thumbs on your scapula, or put your whole hand on your scapula and your shoulder blades. Good. And for just a moment, lift the elbows back. So you get a really long line on your triceps, a really long line. And then we're going to lift the arms almost to straighten, and your hands can begin to come together, but not quite to straighten. And then down, press against air, press, 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 until you touch your back. And then up, nice and slowly. Don't ever let the arms go. Keep control over those muscles, especially the tricep. Keep the elbows up toward the ceiling. Don't let them come toward me. 2 more. Up, nice and slowly, almost to straighten. Last one. This time when we come all the way up, we're going to take the whole palm toward each other. So the palms are touching, arms are broad, elbows are framing your head. Good. And then slowly open the arms out to the side, really slowly. Get to that V that we made. And then flip the palms from the shoulders, all the way from the shoulders back and down, back of the hands toward me, and reach away. Reach. Good. And then relax the arms. Great. Okay. Today we're going to go up quickly. Okay. We're just going to come onto our feet for a moment. Lean back a moment. Just get a nice long spine. Pull yourself through. So doing our cat-cow on the floor. Lengthen. Pull through. Bend your elbows. Look up. Look at your belly button. Long arms. Coming up. And long arms. Come back into neutral. Nice tall spine. And make your way up. Just come on up and come into Tadasana. Good. Tadasana. If you have a strap or a tie or a belt or something, you might want it today for the practice. You might go grab it for just a moment if you have something close by, and if not, you can always use your pant leg or whatever you can hold on to, okay? Good, so first finding our Tadasana, finding our very strong, stable pose. Get yourself all situated. Lift your toes for a minute and keep your knees soft. So lift up to the quadriceps, relax your toes. Feel all four corners of each foot, big toe mound, little toe mound, side of the heel. Good. So just standing still for a moment. Lift the pelvic floor, tuck in your belly, shoulders back and down, and then relax the muscles for a moment. You have the position, just breathing more freely. Maybe even a breath or two can slide down into your belly for just a moment before we re-engage and knead them again. Good, and then re-engage everything for just a moment. Great. So standing nice and tall with your hands on your waist. Just find your waist for a moment, because we're making sure our waist isn't really moving as we do this pose. We're gonna peel off our left foot, the heel, and then we're gonna externally rotate the left leg and plant it. Just put it on the floor, okay? Good. And then lift up, re-engage pelvic floor, re-engage belly, re-engage everything. Take the arms up overhead for a moment. Reach up out of your belly button. Let that be the focus. You are rooting to rise, as my sister Mangala would say. Rooting down through your feet, rising up through your arms, your head. Belly button to up, rising, belly button to down, rooting. Good. And this may be where you'll stay for a breath or two. The rest of you may take the sole of the foot toward the calf, not to the knee. The knee does not want to be pushed sideways. Keep it low. This is at the beginning of the practice. No need to hike the leg up far. And you can always just kickstand it right below, wherever it's comfortable. And then on your next inhale, lift up, bring the knee back front and center, and then exhale, release arms, legs. A little pacing, slow pacing. Good, and then let's re-engage our Tadasana. So I want a very active Tadasana. Lift your toes, engage your feet, drape your toes down, quadriceps hugging the bone, pelvic floor lifted, belly in, chest rising, shoulders down. Hands to the heart. Let's lift them up. And then out of your belly button, up, rising, out of your belly button, down, rooting. Joining ourselves in Samana Vayu, the area of transformation around our gut. Reaching up, and then beginning to peel up the right heel. We're going to externally rotate the right leg and plant it. And as I said, this may be the perfect place for you, right here, with the leg a little bit further away from the body, but make sure you're lifting up and not locking your left knee. And again, staying here, kickstanding a little closer, placing it on the calf, wherever you would like to have your leg. Good. No rotation at all in your left leg, right leg firmly rotated. Breathe. Good. Take a nice inhale, lift up a little bit out of the pose, bring your hands to your heart. Release the leg back, front, and center, and then be very still as you can be. Release your arms, still. Notice the shins, the calves, the legs. Good. And then if you have your strap, And if not, we will just use holding on to our toe or our leg, and the leg can stay bent. I'm going to try and do this with a straight-ish leg. So I'm just getting my strap down around my foot. It's on my left foot. Maybe I'll turn sideways so we can do this together. I have a wall. I'm more worried about you working with your hip joint than balance. Balance is always super important, but I really want us to also work at the hip from standing. So you can just gaze forward for a moment, find Tadasana, but both arms are down, and then begin to raise the leg. Wherever you get a straight leg. It may be straight in front of you, it may be not quite so straight, wherever you get a straight leg. Don't bend the leg yet. So if it's down here, that's perfect. Straight leg. Breathe. Straight leg. And then keeping everything stable on your right side, take the leg out to the left. I'm holding the wall behind me. I could have a chair right beside me. And then I'm coming back, front and center, and with control, beginning to release the leg, keeping it straight the whole time. Good. That's fine for that side. So if I had a chair, I'm going to switch feet, putting the strap now around my right foot. Good. Holding onto the chair to keep my stability, finding my Tadasana first. Everything is super engaged, pelvic floor lifted, belly in. And then as you're ready, slowly find your straight leg with your right leg. Good. Keep your shoulders out of it. Wherever you are with the leg straight, up, medium, a little bit low, but your knee isn't bent. So wherever it is perfect. And then again, press through your left leg so that you're not moving your hip or anything except the right leg. Good, just reaching out. If we had a hold of our big toe, this would be a Padagustasana, big toe pose. Good, and then bring it back and release. Good. Take your strap off for just a moment. Since we have the strap, let's go ahead for a moment and take the strap. Reach far apart with your legs. Just take your strap. If you have a scarf or anything that's handy, I'm going to double my strap so it's not so big. And hold on to your strap. Just holding on to anything, maybe a shirt or a t-shirt. And then take your strap up overhead. Good. Just open your arms. And then twist and take your strap out to the right. Come back up. Twist. Take your strap out to the left. Twist is happening where you have ribs. Up, back, twist, strap, up, back, twist, strap, up, back, twist, strap, up, and back. Good. And then maybe lengthen the strap out a little bit and take your arms back behind you. And I have to get really long on my strap there. So the arms are behind and coming up and over and down. Up and over and behind. Up and over and in front. So wherever the strap is comfortable for you, where you can get it over, don't strain your arms or shoulders or elbows. Over, up, and down. Good. And then release the strap for a moment. Put your hands on your waist. Wiggle your hips. And then noticing that our waist is going to go with our hips all at once, as if this were one big piece of wood. We're going to turn the whole thing over together, out of the hip socket. Good. And your hands can rest on the floor or on your chair or on a block, wherever you're comfortable. If you took your hips way back behind you, which you can when you are standing, bring them back to align hips and ankles. Good, getting long. So for many of us, this is going to be our pose because if anyone has glaucoma or eye pressure problems, we're not going to go over. We're going to stay right here, okay? Looking forward. You can also look at the floor, but you're not going to invert. The rest of us are going to push through our heels, opening wide the sit bones, and then releasing your blocks and letting your body go. Just hanging in space with the upper torso. Take your face to look back at the wall behind you. No with your head, yes with your head. And then begin to look forward, looking forward. Good. Get your blocks, bring them back. Bring your hips back if you took them back behind you. And then walk your blocks underneath your shoulders, right underneath your shoulders. Good. So find that alignment. Shoulders stacked over your elbows, over your wrist. Hands are in front. Good. Press through your heels outside of the foot and then big toe mound. Make sure you have the whole foot engaged and maybe you can feel your arch. You can arch. You can lift your toes. Good. And then drape the toes down. We're going to do a little twist here. If you have two blocks, you're welcome to put them together or just use one block. Good. We're going to open out to the left side with the arm. First, just getting it parallel to the floor. Palm is facing the floor. And then bending and putting the palm of the left hand on the sacrum. And then we're going to inhale, open the shoulder to the left, and exhale, close it. The fourth time we'll stay. Inhale, open the shoulder. If you're more comfortable with the other side of the hand on your sacrum, put it there. Release. Inhale, open. Exhale, release. And this time we're staying. Inhale, open. Press through your heels, press through your sit bones. And then take your arm again out parallel to the floor. It's going to be higher than it was. And then open it slowly up. Try not to move your hips. Your gaze can be right out to the wall in front of you. And then take the upper arm and cartwheel it all the way over toward me. Reach, 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 reach. Replace the arm, putting it down. Good. And then switch. And now taking the other arm out parallel to the floor. Good. Just reach it out. Hips are even, legs are even. And then placing the back of the hand, you can also do the front of the hand, whatever helps you open your shoulder most. Getting ready for our 3 breaths to open and close, and then hold. Inhale, open, press into the hand on the block. Exhale, close, or the chair, or the floor. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close, close all the way. Inhale, open, open all the way as much as you can, and then take your arm out again, parallel to the floor. But now it's up with that same shoulder position, and then press into the hand on the floor or the block or the chair and reach up, reach, reach, reach. Keep your hips stable, legs stable. And on your next exhale, lower your arm. Press both hands into the block, get long. Make sure you didn't take your hips way far back, which is easy for us to do. Bring them in line. Good. And then bring your hands to the tops of the thighs. Take a nice inhale and exhale up. all the way up. Good. Let's heel toe and find our Tadasana. Checking in with how the body, the mind, the soul, after moving our body in a certain way. Take a few belly breaths, release some muscles. Let yourself have a little respite before we re-engage. And then on your next inhale, eyes are fluttering open. Begin to lift the pelvic floor, tuck in the belly. All of the breath moves into the chest area. Good. And then let's go back. So let's play a little bit with what happened with us doing those movements of external rotation. What happened to our warrior pose and our other angle poses with external rotations that we do? What happened to those poses warming up with a little more standing rotation? We'll start with our left foot rotating, left leg, the whole leg rotating. Took our belly button a little bit out toward the left, was front and center. Good. Bend the knee. Get this placed first before we worry about how we're going to do it. Okay, bend the knee, knee over ankle. If your stance is broader, fine. If your stance is shorter, fine. Wherever you have a comfortable knee over the ankle and aren't leaning forward any. Okay, no leaning. Upright spine. Shorten or lengthen your stance. Get comfortable first. We're going to do 3 poses here. We want to be comfortable. Good. Inhale, arms up, warrior 2, gazing out over your middle fingers. Let's do 3 reps. Straighten the leg. Inhale, come up. Look at me. Exhale, look over your fingers and look down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. And exhale, down. Staying for a breath or 2. Good. And this time on purpose, reach, 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 reach. Just raise your upper arm until it's an extension of your spine. And the other arm can just reach out in space. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Begin to straighten your leg and stack shoulders. A modified triangle. The triangle I'm looking for is right here, from your hip to your shoulder to your leg to your hip. That little triangle in the middle that our arms make. Show me how open and expanded you can be. Good. And then from here, don't put any weight on that lower arm. Bend the knee, and by golly, we're in side angle. You can put the hand and arm on your leg or not. And this time, let's take the arm in front of us and up, and in front of us and up. One more big circle, all the way around and up. Straighten the leg. One more triangle, no weight in that bottom arm. Come back through warrior 2. Straighten the leg, come all the way up. Unrotate, hands to the heart. Release your arms. Good, and let's rotate to the right. I need to kick my left heel out a little bit to give me that stability in the groin area, especially on my back left leg. Good. And then bend the knee, check in, make sure, what do you need to change? Have that knee over the ankle, knee right over your second and third toe, and not leaning forward. Upright spine. Shorten your stance, broaden your stance. What do you need to get this openness? Good, all positioned. Inhale, arms up, gazing into warrior 2. We're going to straighten the leg. Inhale up, gaze forward. Exhale, gaze to the side and down. Inhale up. Exhale, bend and gaze. Inhale up. Exhale, bend and gaze. Staying, staying, staying. Good. And then on purpose, reaching, reaching, reaching. Keep your arms reaching if you possibly can. Just keep them reaching. Reach, reach, but don't lock and close up anything. Ribs are toward me, thought everything is toward me. Good. Breathe. And then straighten the leg, lower the right arm, stack the left arm up on top, and this triangle that we've created. So the bottom side is just as long as the top side. Good. One more breath. And then we're going to bend the knee and go to our side angle. So maybe elbow behind you, bend your knee, place the hand, tuck this arm in. Good. Just don't put a lot of weight on that leg. Reach up all the way, diagonal line, outside of your foot up through the palm of the hand. Good. And then straighten the leg. One more nice open triangle. Let's begin to rotate the arms for a minute. A little bit different arm here. Windmill up and windmill down. Windmill up and windmill down. One last one. Windmill up and windmill down. Back to warrior two. Briefly. Straighten the leg, come back front and center. Bring your hands into your heart. Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Find your Tadasana. Relax your arms. Close your eyes. Take some deep breaths as you relax. Pelvic floor, belly, chest, jaw. Like a standing Shavasana. Noticing body, breath, mind, soul. How can you notice your soul? Ask yourself that question several times a day. And on your next inhale, letting your eyes flutter open, re-engage pelvic floor, re-engage everything. Coming in. Good. We're going to come down into a squat. I'm going to move my chair out of the way. Move my blocks. I might want to sit on the block. You're going to come into a squat. Nice big old squat. And if you're sitting on a block, which I am right now, that's great. Okay. So maybe everybody sit on something for just a minute so you can watch instead of do. We're going to go to the floor and work one more time with that external rotation. So I want to show you before you get there so you aren't craning your neck to look. It will be very simple. You're welcome to use your strap if you want or not. So lying down, you're going to start with your left leg. And I just have my hands together and folded on my chest. And I'm going to open it out as much as I can open it without my other side coming up and off. And then I'm going to bring it back. You're welcome to use your strap. Open it out and bring it back. So 3 times we'll do that on either side. And then we'll do happy baby. Then we'll do one more release. And then if you have your block handy, you can do an inversion or any eye pressure problems. You're keeping your bottom on the floor and just lifting your legs. Okay? So take a moment, lie down. I will cue the whole way through, and I will do it with you. But you don't need to look. You can just listen to my words, and you'll be fine. Okay? So lying down. Stretch out through your feet, through your heels, everything's stretching. And then bending your left leg in. Take your left foot up toward the ceiling. Just rest your arms on your belly. Let your hands go over your wrists. Make sure you can also put your hands over on your pelvic basket on the right side and just keep it honest. And then open the left leg, close the left leg, open the left leg, close the left leg. One more time. Open the left leg and close the left leg. Good. Bend the knee, slide that foot back down along the other leg. Move your hands over to the other pelvic basket, left side, and then bending your right leg, bending the knee in, and then take the foot up toward the ceiling wherever you have a straight leg. It may be a little bit further toward me, wherever it's nice and straight. Keeping that whole left side down, open, close. Not how far you go, it's how much integrity you keep. Open and close. Open and close. Good. Bend your knee, extend it down, press through both feet. And then in both knees, bring your legs together, bend your knees, put your feet close, and then walk your feet, heel toe them out until they get as far as your mat. One nice psoas release that we will do right here. So your knees are bent, feet are mat width apart. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, drop your knees to the left, arch your spine, lift up through the heart and the chest. And exhale, come back. Or inhale, come back. You can inhale there, whatever, doesn't matter. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, other side. The upper leg can go a little bit further toward the floor. Arch your back, arch, arch, arch. And come back into neutral. One more time, either side. Arching over, coming back. Really arch the spine and coming back. Good. And then if you'd like to do Viparita Mudra, finding your block, placing it underneath your sacrum. You can always do this just with hands, like a tight shoulder stand. But if it's not part of your practice, this is plenty of an inversion for anyone. This is the original inversion in all of the yoga scriptures. Topsy-turvy pose. Legs reaching up. Reach up through your legs and then relax your legs completely. Just let them balance in the sockets. If you have another inversion that you'd like to do right now, this is the time. And then on your next exhale, if you're doing Viparita, just dropping your knees in towards your chest softly. No pulling. And then one foot on the floor, then the other foot on the floor, lifting up off of your block. Or if you're in another inversion, slowly letting yourself come out of the inversion. Bottom of the floor. And then finding your Shavasana. Just reaching and allowing yourself to relax. Think about being a starfish. Don't think about being locked in by your mat. Let your body be broad, soft. Your breath is soft and shallow, just enough to sustain you. Breathing. In the village, I can hear some bass drum in a car playing very loudly. I don't know if the Zoom picks it up, but it's kind of like a really fast heartbeat. So just imagining that slowing down, or letting yourself become the opposite of that. As it is quick, you are as slow. Relaxing, surrender, letting go. And then slowly and gently finding your breath in the body, in the belly or in the chest. Just be one with your breath for the next 3 or 4 breaths. And then let's do a little bit of the breathing we were doing at the beginning of class, right here on the floor with gravity as our friend. Bringing the breath into the belly, let the belly rise on an inhale and fall on an exhale. Don't bring it into your chest, just keep it in the belly. Belly rises on the inhale, falls on the exhale. 2 more. And this time when the belly falls, keep it there and pull the breath into the chest area. Pull it into the chest. Move the ribs side to side. Feel ribs moving against the floor. Exhale. Keep the belly firm. Inhale, chest breath. Exhale. 2 more, belly firm. And as you end this last inhale, and your belly was firm, just let the breath come into the belly with an inhale. And then drag that same inhale up into the chest. Drag it into the chest. Spread the ribs side to side, front to back. Pause. Exhale slowly, gently, smoothly, even. Yogic breath. Inhale, belly. Chest. Draw the same inhale into the chest. Draw, spread, widen. Pause at the top. Exhale slowly, gently, smoothly, even. 2 more yogic breaths. And then falling back into your natural breathing pattern. Begin to wriggle the fingers, twinkle the toes, move your face, your senses, your ears, your nose, your eyes, your mouth. A big yawn, stick out your tongue. And then slowly begin to bend your knees, maybe with your arms, take an overhead stretch. Put your feet on the floor, lift your bottom up, shake it out a little, and then shift it over to the side, opposite me. And then curl over toward me, all curled up, safe and secure. Every time we come out of corpse pose, we can leave behind any fears, any sadness, anything that no longer serves us. Leave it in corpse. Let it die away. And then we come into embryo pose where we have all of this new possibilities. New life, new breath, new work, new waking, new intentions, new everything. What do you want to be when you grow up? Now is your chance to change your mind, your direction. Take the hand of the upper arm and put it on the floor and begin to spiral up toward me. Head is the last thing that just balances on top. Relax your shoulders and just be for a moment, letting everything integrate. Body, breath, mind, soul. And then we're going to take a comfortable seat, getting your pillow or your blanket or whatever you may need for a comfortable seat. And we're going to use that yogic breath that we worked on at the beginning and we worked on at the end to do nadi shodhana, cleansing of our energetic body, cleansing of the nadis, the meridians, the chi, however you call it. The nadi shodhana, this alternate nasal breath, comes like a horseshoe, comes in through the left nostril, out through the right nostril, in through the right nostril, out through the left nostril, horseshoeing each time. Our hand is in Vishnu Mudra, tucking in the index finger and the middle finger. If that's uncomfortable for your hand, just place those 2 fingers in the mudra right at the third eye, index finger and middle finger. And your thumb is free for your right nostril. Your ring finger is free for your left nostril. Just place them there so you know how it feels and take the pressure off. So whether you have your fingers at your third eye or tucked in, thumb right nostril, ring finger left nostril. I'll call out a few rounds with more control than you might like. And then you can do 3 or 4 rounds depending on the speed of your breath on your own. So as always, we'll begin with an exhale, exhaling the breath all the way out, belly comes in. close off the right nostril, belly releases, and breath comes in. Belly, draw that same inhale up into the chest. Same 1-2 part inhale. Top of the inhale, switch fingers, exhale right. Slow, soft, smooth exhalation. Bottom of the exhale, inhale right. Belly, then chest. Draw it up. Chest moves out and up. Belly moves in. Top of the inhale, switch fingers, exhale left. Slow, soft, smooth exhalation. Bottom of the exhale, inhale left. 2-part inhale, belly and chest. Top of the inhale, a slight pause, switch fingers, exhale right. Bottom of the exhale, belly pulls into the spine. Then release the belly, inhale right. 2 parts into the chest. Top of the inhale, switch fingers, exhale left. And as you complete that exhale, that makes 2 full rounds we've done. Continue on at your own pace until I ask you to end the practice with a full exhale out the left nostril. You always switch fingers at the top of the inhale. Try not to let your arm or your face travel. Keep front and center. Taking the time to complete the round that you're on with an exhale out of your left nostril. No hurry, take your time, complete fully. Exhaling out the left nostril. Relaxing into your natural breathing once you're done. Feeling the effects of the practice in the body, in the breath, in the mind, the soul. Beginning our meditation this morning and focusing on Mother Earth, grounding. We're going to hold the mudra of Prithvi, Earth, touching the thumb to the ring finger. And just letting the backs of the hands rest gently on your legs. Tall spine, soft body. Surrender the muscles to the bones. Relax your face, your jaw, everything soft. Thinking of the qualities of the earth. Stable, able for all of us to walk on Mother Earth. Imagine the smell of the earth after a fresh rain. Imagine the side of a mountain, a volcano, Mother Earth rising up. Imagine the bottom of the oceans and the center core of the earth. Imagine the nourishment deep in the earth for the plants and the trees. Imagine the minerals. And then turning to the earth principle in your own body. Finding the solid building blocks of your body. Your bones, the cartilage of your nose and your ears, your teeth, your nails, tendons, ligaments, muscles and organs, things that aren't space, things that aren't liquid. The building blocks of your body, earth element. There is a seed syllable that signifies the earth element in the Sanskrit language. And I will chant that syllable 5 times, just letting it wash over you. Lung, 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 lung. Gently beginning to release the meditation. Releasing the mudra. And bringing your hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. Any merit we may have earned this morning, we lift it up to the welfare of all sentient beings. Remember your intention, repeat it 3 times to yourself, that intention for self-transformation. And then letting those thoughts slip out of your mind, down into your heart space, and out of your heart space into the palms of your hands. And then lift them up and let them go off into the universe. Just let go. Bringing the hands back into the heart. Hari Om Tat Tat. Namaste. Y para ustedes que unieron conmigo hoy para la clase en español, no sé si ya se escucharon que en San Juan, desde la noche, estamos en cuarentena completa. Entonces, hoy en la mañana me levanté y había como 40 mensajes que San Juan está cerrado, nadie puede entrar, nadie puede salir. Entonces, toda la mañana escribiendo a gente en inglés y en español, inglés y en español, me olvidé completamente que fuera martes, me olvidé completamente que era clase en español. Mañana, les prometo, mañana miércoles voy a cambiarlo, mañana la gente tiene que aguantarnos y mañana sería la clase en español. Perdóname, perdóname. Vengo. Hoy sí las necesitaban mucho, mucho, mucho. Qué bien. Entonces, mañana va a ser sorpresa a mucha gente. Porque mañana sí voy a hacer la clase en español. So tomorrow will be a big surprise to a few people because I'll do tomorrow's class in Spanish because I had promised to always do Tuesdays in Spanish. But for those of you who didn't know what I was just saying, we woke up this morning to find out that our latest case of coronavirus is here in my village. And the police and the army have us cordoned in. So no one can come in or out of my village. We are here. Qué bien, gracias. ¿Qué tal, José? Mucho gusto. Yeah, so it's kind of shocking to your system, especially for those of us who are a little claustrophobic in life, to find out that we can't leave or come back. We can't get in anything else. If we don't have groceries, we don't get them. And so, yeah, it's a little disconcerting, but it'll all be fine and we'll all be good. And I'm not going to starve to death. We have beans and rice for a lot of beans and rice. So let me open the chat. There's some questions maybe. Todos. De verdad, perdón. Why do we do an inversion in each class? That's a great question, Remata. Mamata. It's so the inversion, what happens all day, our lymphatic system is trying to clean the body and it's squeezing from the bottom up, which is why when people get on an airplane, they put them in those tight socks, or people who have varicose vein problems, they put them in those tight socks to push the lymph back up. Otherwise your feet begin to swell and you get all swollen in your feet and sometimes into your ankles and sometimes into your knees. It can move up into the thighs because the lymph in the system isn't moving well. For most of us who have sedentary lives, like sitting at computers, and we may not get enough movement all day. But what an inversion does is two things. One is it helps physiologically, it helps our lymphatic system to drain because it all drains upside down. And we're pushing it up as we walk during the day. If you don't walk during the day, you do get swollen feet and ankles. That's what happens if you take a international flight and you're on the plane and you don't move, your feet get swollen. So we're moving the lymphatic system. And then what happens with our subtle body, our subtle system, is all of the pranavayus, all of the 5 functions that we've broken up our movement principle in. It's broken up into 5 functions, and I've gone over it in other classes. And I think on my YouTube channel, it says by the 5 vayus, if you want to go back and review those. But the 5 vayus, when they're upside down in inversion, all of the vayus settle back into place. That's the purpose of Viparit Karani Mudra. Like after a pranayama practice for new people, the best thing that they can do is Viparit Karani Mudra at the end. Also, all the bandhas are applied naturally in Viparit Karani Mudra. You get your Jalandhar Bandh, your Mula Bandh, and your Udyan Bandh all applied at once just by gravity and nature. Nothing, you don't have to do anything. So it's really good for the whole body to kind of reset, readjust, refunction at the end of class. So physiologically as well as subtly. Okay. let me see. I have a couple more questions. Oh, I didn't unmute you guys. Why didn't you remind me? Hold on. Then you can also talk. I didn't mean to keep you all muted. I totally, you know, when I thought about the class being in Spanish, at the end of Nadi Shodan, it was like, Holy Toledo. I was supposed to teach in Spanish today. It's martes. Ay, Dios mío. Okay, now you're unmuted, but now you can all talk. Yes, you can unmute yourself. But let me go back to the questions that were asked. I'll read them out loud. That's why we do an inversion. Mamata, thank you for asking. From Tina, how would you guide the student? How would you guide the student who asks whether they should be chest versus belly breathing? And when and why do you practice either? So there is no should, really, there is no should, because when I talk about chest breathing, I'm talking about, let me stand up, I'm talking about breathing into this part where I have ribs, right? Not doing the sympathetic chest breath of like after, you know, you're nervous or someone's, yeah, like how I felt this morning when I realized that I was trapped in the village, right? I started to go sympathetic. I sat down and I did 25 belly breaths. So that's when you want to do belly breathing, right? Because it brings your parasympathetic nervous system online. It replicates how you are breathing at night, which is just a little bit of diaphragmatic going below with your phrenic and your vagus nerve collaborating in that effort for you to breathe. So it's just that little bit of breath that happens, like right now, while you're listening and paying attention to me. Just that little tiny bit of breath is happening, and that's like a belly breath. The chest breath is when you really need to keep your belly in. So if you're doing asana, if you are doing heavy labor, if you need to do something that's going to force your back to move, then let me go to speaker view for just a second so you can see it bigger. Okay. Do you see the chat screen? Say no or yes. Do you see the chat screen so that you can't see me? No or yes? Okay, good. All right. So if I'm gonna do a chest breath, when I say, I have to shut up to do this, but I'm gonna show you a chest breath, okay? Maybe from the side. I'm gonna exhale the breath out. I'll move my arm out of the way. And then I'm gonna start on an inhale in just a moment, chest only. Let you see it from the front, okay? This is chest only, belly staying in. This is my little gut. I can't get it in any further than that, all right? This is my gut. So exhaling, belly's pulled in as far as I can possibly get it. Watch this part. And notice this all hollows out. I don't even have anything there because all that hollows out because I got it all up into my chest, but it never went way up there into that sympathetic response, okay? So maybe, does that help, Tina? Oh, Dahlia, how wonderful. Thanks to Kamiko. Tell her thank you for sending you. When we stretch the arms up, what do we do with the shoulders? And when do I hold the shoulders apart of the ears and when not? So it depends, right? There's no only formula. Never do we want to do this unless we're headed into internal rotation. But if you're just standing up, you want your shoulder blades on your back, on your spine. And you want to know what that feels like, because what happens in today's age is a lot of that, right? So you want to know how it feels to have your shoulders down away. I'm going to move this chat window for a minute, put back in gallery so I can see you. So you want your shoulder blades to have all this space between your ears when you're here, okay? But when you want to raise your arms up, your scapula rotates there, and that's perfectly fine. This is a much safer arm lift than this. Why? This front weights your shoulder blade, pulls on your scapulus, pulls on your rotator cuff. And for people who are not stable, it's going to hit the acromion process and they can't go any further. And that just means the way you're born, you have a bone that sticks out a little bit more than someone else. This is I have that process here, but look what I can do. Watch me do the party trick, okay? I'm gonna lower it, bring it up. I just hit the bone. I just went around it. All I did was go around it, right? Because it's a bone that's out on the top of it's part of the scapula itself. And if I hit the scapula because it rotated, I just take it around it and go the rest of the way up, right? But I can't go here. Now this shoulder, which was broken and clavicle was broken and calloused and pulled in this way, I can go all the way up without ever stopping. So some of us who have acromion processes in the way, when we have an acromion process in the way, we think something's wrong and our shoulders ought to do something different, because the girl next to me just goes like that immediately with both arms. Well, good for her. She has a short acromion process. It's just the way she's built. No big deal. So the safe way for everybody in the class is to go all the way out, flip your palms up, and come all the way up. And then everybody goes around their acromion process and has their arms close to their ears. Your shoulder blades lifted, everything lifted. You can swallow your ears for a moment. And then when you want to bring them down, they're going to come down a little bit. And they don't come all the way down until you lower your arms. But it's good to work. There's a huge amount of space to work with your shoulders, huge. And I had a frozen shoulder. It'll be this August will be 2 years ago, and it was frozen for a few weeks. Let's see, another question. Frozen completely for a few weeks, and then it took over a year. I've told my dear Nayana, took over a year for it to even get any internal rotation. And then now it's almost back to normal, almost, but I work on it every day. Okay, so the Nadi Shodhana from Juliet. Yeah, thanks, Tina. Tina was mostly interested in me pointing out the sympathetic versus the parasympathetic nervous system. And so to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest, you want to belly breathe. And I don't want you to activate your sympathetic nervous system unless you need to run fast, get out of there, unless you're in a terrible way. I just don't want you to activate it. I want you to live more from your sympathetic, but I want you to learn parasympathetic, but I want you to learn how to pull your belly in and chest breathe big without activating that pure sympathetic nervous system. Okay. So what's the purpose of closing off the nostril and cycle of breathing? This is our Nadi Shodhana, the alternate nasal breath. What was the question you asked to check in with the soul daily? Yeah, probably what is my soul doing? I don't know, Juliet. I'll have to re-listen to see exactly what I said. We did a yoga sutra class last night and it got pretty deep. And for those of you who are in the sutra class, what's up? I put the recording on there. So, well, yesterday afternoon, it was early in the day. Pretty deep for early in the day. Anyway, what's the purpose of Nadi Shodhana? So cleansing the nadis. So we have 350,000 energy channels in the body, or meridians, according to one of the yoga scriptures. According to another yoga scripture, we have 72,000. So let's just say we have a lot. This is what the chi energy is called. This is what meridians are called. These are all of the energy things that you work on in acupuncture, acupressure, anything, right? Where we're trying to move that physical, sub-physical energy. If I cut you open tomorrow, I'll find veins, I'll find shrotas, I'll find organs, but I won't find your nadis. You can't find them. But if any of you have ever been to an acupuncturist, you know when the acupuncture finds it, by golly, he or she finds it, because it hurts when they hit that energy and it was blocked for a while. So it's that energy. Out of those 72,000, 350,000 nadis, we are looking to really impact 3 of them. And we only need to remember 3 of them. Sushumna, which is the central nadi. It goes up our spine, from our tailbone up to our spine, and you can visualize it curving with your spine. You can visualize it straight up. That's where Kundalini is laying underneath Sushumna for having an awakening experience, and that's another whole class. We'll talk about that some other time. But for the other 2, it's Ida, which is our left side, our lunar side, our soft side. And the next one is Pingala, our right side, our solar side, our strong side. Ayurvedically, when I am taking a client's pulse, I take both pulses. And then I listen for the vibration of which pulse is stronger, Ida or Pingala. Pretty much every single mother I have ever met in my life has a stronger Pingala pulse. she's being the dad and the mom, and her strong pulse is almost always stronger. And then when I find a guy who you can tell is really sensitive and very sweet and wonderful, it'll either be 50-50 or it'll have a little bit more Ida, a little bit more of the left side pulse. So when I'm taking them, it's very sweet to like let the pulse bring out what's happening in the nadis. But back to why. So you're balancing Ida Pingala, Hatha, the practice of Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga. Hatha means sun, moon. We want to always have that balance of feminine, masculine, solar, lunar. We need those two things to come into balance. So the Nadi Shodhana is that balance bringer breath. It's helping us to balance. It gets even a stronger practice when we add a kumbhaka, when we add a retention breath. But we probably won't do that in any of this. We'll do it in our yoga teacher training, YTT 300, which is going to start up in May. And Dana, who's there, is one of our students, and Nayana, who's there, is going to be one of my apprentices, our wonderful apprentices who help us really get the whole program going. Cam, right there too, is another one of our apprentices. And in that, we go into the intermediate pranayams that have breath retention. And Tina, I think, may be joining us. So we always, you know, we really don't want to share the more advanced practices until someone is ready for them. If you read in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, it says there's nothing like glory and long life by doing good pranayam, knowing what you're doing and doing the right pranayam for you at the right time, everything right. And there's nothing worse for your health than doing the wrong pranayam for you at the wrong time and the wrong method. So I'm giving you all safe pranayams for everybody anytime. But when we get into breath retention, we really need to be careful. So you won't, like I might have you like do the practice that we did with Pratiloma and hold 5 seconds. Everybody can do that, but not hold for 60 seconds. Okay. So today's, it's time to go. It's been wonderful hanging out with you. Just in your mind, just imagine the little chain that I feel around me begins to loosen up and that I can be fine all day with the chain around me. And it just should be secure rather than feeling a little scary. Okay, thank you to everybody. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. Much love to you. Have a great Tuesday. Y miércoles mañana en español. Okay. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Ginger.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've got some other Sanjuaneros there. We're going to talk later, I'm sure. Okay, everybody. Bye. Bye, little baby sweetheart. Oh my goodness, Shara, she's gorgeous. Oh,
Ballerina today.
Ballerina. Wow. Okay, everybody. Amelia, hi. It's so nice to have you there. What's wonderful. I see my good friend Yogini Amelia Barilli. Yeah, excelente.
Yeah, gracias. Buenísimo,
Qué
buenísimo.
gusto en verte, de verdad. Y mañana la clase en español. Y la
Qué
gente...
bueno.
Ay, sí,